Hello, beautiful, vibrant souls. We are here today to pull a few cards for the collective, see what messages lie within. We have a interesting. Okay, well, always something to be taken from these cards, regardless of if they resonate personally. But if you are looking for a personal reading, please feel free to reach out. Our Prince of Wands. There is power in decisions. There is a certainty with which you must move forward with the path that you have chosen. But you have to recognize that there isn't always going to be everything falling into perfect alignment immediately. These things take time. It requires patience. I'm getting a lot of impatience and questioning of the process, and being very quick to kind of throw all the work out the window and start over because you haven't seen the results of what it is that you're trying to work towards so quickly, as quickly as you wanted it to occur. And there's a process to this, and it's the the thinking and laying out the plan takes a period of time, and then there's a period of time that all of this energy has to circle back around to you. So you just started the acts that require all of that energy coming back. It's not an immediate response. That's just not how things work. Sometimes they take time, and they're going to require us to be patient and understanding in the process. We have to, at this point, trust that you've done the work and that you did the planning and that you're on the right track. You're not going to see that immediate gratification that you've been wanting to see. But we have the Sun card here. The Sun demonstrating for us that things are all actually going according to plan, and it's beautiful, and it's transparent, and it's honest, it's authentic, it's real. There's not been any attempt to play. You're not trying to hide. You're not trying to be disingenuous. You're being true to who you are. And there is so much more vitality in that energy. Even when there's moments of shade, right? The clouds pass over the sun periodically. You know the sun's still there. You know it's still real. It hasn't actually stopped. In fact, it doesn't completely take the sun away, right? At this point, it's just kind of diminishing the light for periods of time. You still know it's a sunny day overall. You might have those moments where you doubt and question, but when these cards come up, this is the card that says, what are you being impatient about? This is what you wanted, and it's going to feel absolutely fantastic. And a matter of fact, you should start putting yourself in that present. Experience the warmth that's coming down from you. Experience the change that's happening for you. It's all coming through very quickly. It's just you're expecting that immediate, and it's not immediate. Don't be impatient about it. Don't be sullen about it. Instead, just take that moment to just let that shine. Let it feel good. Let it feel it on your skin. Enjoy it, be grateful for it. This is our life force. This is what keeps us going. This is the energy that you thought you weren't going to be able to muster up again, and yet you did. This is the energy that's coming back to you multiplied. We have our Justice card, or I'm sorry, we're going to call it the Adjustment card. This is the balance of things that starts to occur, where things had gotten a little bit skewed to one side or another. There was too much cutting off, too much overthinking, too much opinion that was not working in alignment with what it is that you wanted. You were kind of finding it difficult to turn the mirror on yourself and be realistic about the situation. It took some deep thinking, some deep digging, some real personal introspection for you to say, oh, maybe I caused this problem. Maybe I'm the one that's inhibiting my growth. Maybe I'm the block. And so there's been some realization here where you're feeling a lot more confident, saying, I still experience growth on a daily basis. There's a lot of adjustment for me to go through. This is something new that I wanted, and I wasn't quite ready for it. And I might not still be ready for it, but I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'm starting to appreciate it. And so I need to focus more on appreciation of that change that I asked for. Because when I do that, when I'm present and when I'm grateful, is when I know that I'm on the right track and I don't have to question it. I also know and believe in the concept of divine timing, and it keeps me from becoming too impatient. Some really great cards through this message, come through with this message, setting of boundaries. So we've had to take some time to um, draw some lines in the sand and pull away from some situations that were not working for us. And when we express those boundaries, the kind of reaction that we got made it obvious to us, where we recognized that we had to walk away. We were not being respected. We were not being honored. That was our growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. I'm constantly seeking to be a better person. And I have had to recognize that there are certain situations that I allowed myself to sit in for far too long that were stagnating my growth. I was not putting myself in an environment that challenged my thinking, that helped me break out of that box that I was in. It's kind of like being in an echo chamber for too long. That's all you start to hear is your own voice. You're not hearing anything else. That inhibits your imagination. That inhibits the creative aspect of your mind. Sometimes it's thinking through these things that challenge you and thinking through these other ideas that are presented to you that helps stimulate your own feelings and thoughts about situations. That helps you deal with your own problems by presenting another perspective that you hadn't considered before. When we place ourselves into a tiny little box, when we stay in that echo chamber for too long, we're only seeing one way of looking at things and one way of dealing with things. We had to come to some understanding, set those boundaries, recognize that those boundaries were not being honored and respected, step away from that situation, find ourselves, oh, this is a much different environment now. This is very different. This is very open. This is expansive. I'm seeing and healing, feeling and hearing a lot of things that I haven't heard or even thought about in some time. And that's what's perpetuating me to step into that next level of growth. That's what's stimulating my mind and helping me, challenging me to take it to the next level. There are times that you will not know what to do. And that gives you the opportunity to think creatively about how you might address that situation in a different way, something new. Yes, it requires a little bit of vulnerability. And as you've already demonstrated for yourself, you know how to set boundaries and how to appreciate and honor those boundaries. So you're not putting yourself into a situation where you're in danger. It is going to require some effort and some a new outlook on things. The way that you've been doing things is not necessarily going to work. You're going to have to do things a little bit differently this time. You're supposed to. That's a part of the growth as well. But that growth and that expansion of your awareness is what's going to get those creative juices flowing. That's what's going to open your mind and help you come up with those next steps that are going to take you to that final realm in reaching your goals. More reinforcement of the same message, some illumination, and slow and steady wins the race. This is not immediate gratification, as we talked about in the first pull today. This is not about getting exactly what you want because you finally figured out how to get it. This is a learning process. This is something that requires consistent and steady work. There's also some illumination here to new ways of thinking, new creative ideas, allowing your imagination to explore some different pathways that it hasn't been down before. We're giving our mind an opportunity to grow and to receive information from spirit on how we move into that next level that requires you coming out of your comfort zone and being able to be exposed to these things that gives you the signs and the symbols. You're not going to receive it all just by sitting in your room by yourself in the dark. You have to get out there. You have to see the signs. You have to communicate with people. You got to get the little ringing in the ear and the little ping, ping, ping in your brain. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute. I wasn't thinking like that before. That's very interesting. And now I have something new to ponder. This is a process that you have asked for. You've wanted to embark upon this journey. You kind of had some ideas of what it was going to look like. Your ideas, Spirit is saying, your ideas were very, very close-minded. There was so much more for you to experience and to learn. You had no idea when you got involved in this that this was going to continue taking you out of your element and continue pushing you farther and farther. It's going to challenge you on a daily basis. Every single stage is a new level unlocked. And there's a test, there's things that you have to figure out at each level in order to unlock those. But it isn't just one room that we unlock and all of a sudden we know all the secrets of the universe. That wouldn't be any fun anyway. You'd be bored. It's much more fun to kind of take in the scenery, to experience each phase in the growth, to fully absorb everything that you're being exposed to, and then contemplate. Take your really time and really drink in all this information, sort it out in a bunch of different ways, see what you can learn from it. It's like collecting data and seeing if you see any patterns in it. There is a pathway that's being revealed to you as you explore. It's not fully laid out with a map and here you stop here and you stop here. So as you're going along, this is all new to you. It's all new and it's supposed to be. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting. That's what gives you the will and the desire to keep going. And every single day is going to be brand new. You have no idea what tomorrow is going to be like. So that's a really great reason to stick around and keep seeing what's next. I have no idea what tomorrow will bring me. I have no idea what the next 10 minutes will bring me. One thing I've learned in my life is that we're not promised another minute. And we're certainly not guaranteed the same situations. Things can change at a moment's notice. Many of you have already experienced in your life these sudden changes, these influxes where life just flipped over completely, much like the turtle on its back. You don't know how to get yourself over. But there's a new perspective that comes when that happens. You figure it out, you get yourself back righted, but there's something that you learn about your abilities, how easily you adapt, how quickly you learn, how you learn to use tools, and how that perspective changes the way that you see things around you. That's what we're looking for with this illumination. Thank you so much for joining with me today. I hope these messages bring you some things to think about. Spirit has presented some challenges for us, and they are meant for us to dig deep and contemplate. So if there's more personal guidance that you're looking for, I would love to hear from you. Please reach out. Much love to you.